Good morning, Breitbart. I'm Allie J. Nikolai. Thank you so much for joining us live here in Washington, D.C., where bikers are lining up for the annual Rolling to Remember, previously known as Rolling Thunder. This year it's branded as Rolling to Remember, the annual motorcycle ride in remembrance of those who have given their lives for their country. Again, we are live here in Washington, D.C., where thousands upon thousands of bikers are expected to be doing their ride around the National Mall, around Washington, D.C., in again, memorializing those who have given their lives, the ultimate sacrifice for our country. So we're just going to walk around, we're going to talk to a couple of these bikers and see why they're here, what inspires them, and tell us their stories. Thank you so much for joining us here this morning live. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of the above. Check out our website. Thank you again for all your support and tuning in, and let's go talk to these bikers. Great, so we are here with a good group of bikers. If you guys could give us your first name and where you guys are from.
I'm Jacob from West Virginia.
Caitlin in West Virginia.
Mike from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Eric from Cincinnati, Ohio. Matt from Cincinnati, Ohio.
So why are you guys here today? What is the inspiration behind your ride?
I think Mike will have a real. Go on, Mike. I'm a second out of 3 generations of military, and I'm here to support the veterans and for the cause of the POWs and MIAs and raise awareness for veteran suicide. So.
I think he's got the most solid answer.
I'm here to support Mike and every other veteran out here. Got a lot of family members that are vets, so just doing anything I can to raise awareness and ride some bikes.
So what makes this Memorial Day different? America's had just a really brutal year this past year. For you, what makes this Memorial Day different?
I think it's just really coming together after everything everyone's been through, and showing that hey, we're all still here. We're all still going to support the things that we stand behind, and we're not going to let these troubles and things that we've gone through keep us held back. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna do it.
Start living again. Start doing what we want to do again, and not be hostages of our own homes, like we've been during the pandemic.
Remembering what being American's all about. Supporting each other, supporting our veterans.
So this has been going on for a few years, but it really kind of came to a height. But do you guys think that kneeling for the national anthem is a good way to protest? If not, why not? And what would be your message to athletes that do that kneel during the national anthem?
No, I stand for the flag and I kneel for God. So I think you need to stand for the flag for the 82,000 guys that are still MIAs and have not come home, and for the hundreds and hundreds of thousands that have lost their lives, gone off to war, lost their lives fighting for our freedoms. My message to the athletes is you're a role model, and you shouldn't be making that much of a statement when too many young kids are out there watching and seeing what, trying to emulate what you're doing. I want them, they should be being proud Americans and standing up for everybody and not just their own personal opinion.
I think it's kind of like you said. It's respecting. Stand up for it, and stand up for the things that the messages you want to stand for as well. I think that's where the pride comes from. Yes, whatever that message is that you are wanting to be heard or trying to get out to people, whether it's about an injustice or anything of that way, stand for it. I don't think disrespecting someone else's message is a way to get your message heard, and I think that's where it really comes in.
So you guys are out here riding, but what are some other ways our fellow Americans can honor and just really keep solemn this Memorial Day and honor those that have fallen?
I think just encouragement and continuing to just serve other people, be there for other people. I think many of us have lost that, just kind of become more about ourselves, and we're forgetting about our neighbors and people in need. And because when we're in need, we want someone else to help us, and when we can help someone else, I think it's important to stand there and be there for somebody else.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming out here, for riding for the troops, and for talking to us today. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
That's okay if I can just get you guys.
I try to. It is you.
My job is not here. Yeah, we're all
Great, so we're joined again with another group of great bikers. If I could just have your guys' first name and where you guys are from.
I'm Brian from Ormond Beach, Florida.
John from Manassas, Virginia.
Dave, New Jersey.
Steve from Woodbridge, Virginia.
I'm John. I'm from Stafford, Virginia.
Awesome. So why are you guys here today? What's the inspiration behind your ride?
Go ahead.
Well, we are here for this guy. Brian's a veteran, you know.
Riding up and to remember the POWs and MIAs. Make sure they're not forgotten.
It's a great event. Great event.
It is. You're definitely here to support the previous generations and those that have been left behind. Make sure that they know they've never been forgotten.
So America's been through a tough year, just brutal. What makes this Memorial Day different or special for you guys?
Being able to get out of the house. We had contemplated whether or not we were going to ride this weekend just because of the weather, and one of our buddies who doesn't even ride said, reminded us, the guys you're riding for didn't get that opportunity to decide if they wanted to work in the rain, so we're here.
So this has kind of been going on for a couple of years, but it really kind of came to a head this year. But do you guys see kneeling for the anthem as an appropriate way to protest? If not, why? And what would be your message to the athletes that decide to do that?
I don't want to hear my response.
You really don't. You're paid to play. You are entertainment. If you want to protest, do it on your own damn time. That would be my opinion.
Not for this country. No, not for this country. Stand up the whole time. You got to. No doubt.
Recently, also, the military has kind of taken a little bit of a turn in focusing on identity politics, really coming out with the critical race theory, LGBTQ. What are your guys' thoughts on that politicalization of the military?
That's the veteran.
It should be a separation of the two. You know, the military is there to do a job, and they do it quite well. I don't think politics should enter into it.
So you guys are riding this weekend. What are some other ways that Americans can honor those who have fallen this memorial?
Talk to every one of these people. You're the veteran. What other ways can we do to support veterans? I'm trying to think.
The way I see it is veterans are honored, I think, quite well. You know, you see it all the time when vets come home, arriving in the airports. People there are there to support them. And, it's a lot more now than what it was when I went into the Air Force in 1976. A long time ago, but I think there's a lot of support, plenty of support for the veterans, active duty, retired, whatever it may be.
Or no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, last night we met a guy. What was his name? Carl. It was Carl. We were at a bar last night in Manassas, and was he 81 or so? He didn't know who we were, and he had all of his retired Air Force stuff on. We're sitting there having a drink, and he gets out his money. I was like, "Put your money away." Well, all we did was buy him a drink, and he was tickled pink. And come to find out, he went into the service the year before you were born.
He went into the Air Force.
Yeah.
I was a 1-year-old.
Yeah. I mean, he was just tickled pink that someone bought him a beer and would have a conversation with him. So.
What do you guys have any thoughts on the Pentagon not allowing the permit at all? Is there any strong thoughts or feelings about that happening?
Yeah.
That's
Steve used to run that department.
It's political, and
It really is.
I think it's political. It's money, because it costs money for the Pentagon Force Protection, PIF, to come out here and provide security for what's going on, and it costs. And so DOD really, they don't have a lot of money.
Well, it's a shame that we've been doing it for so many years there, and then they change it. And I know the weather's backed it off, but I think they're going to go back. I hope they do.
I understand that AMVETS had requested for the permit last July, and it wasn't until maybe 5 weeks ago or so that it was denied. It was kind of a last-minute thing, and so AMVETS had to scramble, and now they're was able to get it here at the RFK Stadium.
Yeah, and I'm sure for the people that were coming from far away, that messed everything up to keep the crowd down. So that's a shame, but hopefully it'll change.
It's definitely a money issue. I did 20 years in Virginia law enforcement, and all the officers you see out here right now, the city's paying for. So they're not being reimbursed by the event. So someone has to pay those costs to get all these officers out here to get us on the road.
Awesome. Well, gentlemen, I really appreciate your guys' time. Thank you so much for riding. Thank you guys for the service, law enforcement, military. It's huge, and I hope you guys have a safe and fun ride, and hopefully it won't rain too soon.
What channel are you guys?
This is Breitbart News.
Okay. Where's your motorcycle at? Are you riding with anybody?
I'm not, but maybe I'll find someone to take me. You never know.
You just did. There he is. Get to. Let's go.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Zip code. Good.
Thank you. Awesome. So we're joined yet again with another great group of bikers. If I could just have your first name and where you guys are from.
Richard.
Barbara.
We're both from Nokesville, Virginia.
Yes, I'm Gerald, and I'm from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Yes.
Awesome. So why are you guys here today? What is the inspiration behind your ride?
Remember the fallen. To honor the fallen.
Absolutely. Ever since I retired, I've been doing Run for the Wall and Rolling Thunder, now Rolling for Remembrance. And so I take the time to ride from here to Ontario and then come back across the United States and get here in Friday, Saturday before Memorial Day, and we read bios of people who've passed, our prisoners of war, and take those to the cemetery and read those. And got nothing else to do anyway, retired, so it's a way of showing my appreciation for those that are currently serving.
And so America has been through a lot this year. It's been a very tough year. What makes this Memorial Day different, just for the country, for yourselves? What makes it special this year?
Well, for me, I think it stands out more because of the turmoil that we've seen. I think this kind of shows that we're still standing together, and I hope that the country would do the same.
Yeah, we survived. We're survivors, right? Life goes on. Let's get up and live again.
So this has been going on for a couple of years, but it really came back this year in full force. Do you guys believe that kneeling during the anthem is an appropriate way to protest? And if not, why? And what would be your message to athletes that do that during the anthem?
It's not appropriate for us, but people here, they put their lives on the line for freedom. So if that's what you want to do, it's your right. But it's also our right to think what we want of it. But but we wouldn't do it. Let's put it that way.
Never. I think it's inappropriate, but in this country, people can be inappropriate if they want to. And that's why we do what we do.
What freedom's about.
Do you guys have any thoughts or feelings about the Pentagon not allowing you guys to line up in their parking lot this year?
I'm really irritated about it. I think the veterans paid for that parking lot, and I think we had every right to use it.
Need to get their act together next year.
Now, you guys are riding this weekend, but if you have any suggestions, what are some ways that Americans can honor veterans, honor the fallen this Memorial Day, or just in general?
You know, whenever I do Run for the Wall, I do see that the Americans are honoring them. When we do that run all across the United States, it's not like here. In this area where they seem to be disconnected. When we run across the United States, we see patriotism everywhere. You don't see it as much here. But when we run across the United States, we see it everywhere. We see people standing on bridges and underpasses and standing out in the rain. So I say it's there. It's just that you got to get away from these larger metropolitan cities. And you'll see the patriotism that's out there.
One way they taught us, when we put wreaths on the headstones downtown in D.C. At Arlington, say their name. Because if you say someone's name, they're never forgotten. But so, yes, just remember what they died for and educate your children that there's a reason that we celebrate this day. It's not just a party. It's not a picnic day. It's a day that we honor those who gave their lives and made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for chatting with us. We really appreciate it. Safe ride, and God bless, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We are joined here again with some bikers. If I could have your guys' first name and where you guys are from.
Oh, you talking to me?
What's your first name and where you're from?
My name is Steve Head Dog Moore, and I'm from Michigan City, Indiana.
My name is Dan Lugnut Kepker, and I'm from Rolling Prairie, Indiana.
I'm Ed Kinsel, Silvertop, from Granger, Indiana.
You guys want to? Yeah, come on in.
Bob Wiseman, Chester, Indiana.
Awesome.
Eddie Shin with the NBAR.
Great. So, why are you guys here this morning? What is the inspiration, or who is the inspiration behind your ride?
Honoring the veterans, making sure that those who have gone before us are remembered, and we love our country.
22 a day. 22 a day is too many. Veterans coming back home, you know what they have wounds that they're not superficial. They have mental wounds. So 22 a day, we got to let everybody know that we need to take care of these veterans and make sure this doesn't happen. It's way too much.
Yeah, go ahead. Do you have anything?
I'm okay.
So America's been through a lot this year. It's been a very tough year. What makes this Memorial Day different or special for you guys, for the country? What do you see that as?
Well, our country during COVID and the last election, everything, we kind of got separated. Everybody got locked down. So we need this demonstration. We need everybody to pull back together. We need everybody to pull back together so we can get this country back on its feet. You know, COVID's easing up a little bit, and the camaraderie amongst all of us is over the top, over the top. And we're with the National Veterans Awareness Ride, and we have the National Veterans Awareness Ride goes from Sacramento, California to Washington, D.C. So we haven't been able to do that ride in 2 years. We canceled it again this year, but somebody stepped up and decided to form a ride from Indiana to here. And once that news got out, there was guys from California, there was guys from Oregon, Iowa, Minnesota, yeah,
Florida.
in Florida, yeah. They all decided to meet, and we all met and rode together here.
So this has kind of been going on for a couple of years, but it really came back this year. But do you guys see kneeling for the anthem as an appropriate way to protest? If not, why?
Not no, but hell no.
I'll go with hell.
And,
Yes.
Yeah, and what would be your message to those athletes that do that?
You kneel for the dead, and you salute the flag. Sorry, I get a little gross on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. That's no, to me, that's no form of protest. That flag right there represents a lot of men and women who've lost their lives for this country. And this country has a great history of men and women who did just that. So how can you kneel for that? You know, stand on your soapbox someplace else. Don't do it when you're entertaining me.
Now, another kind of trend that's been happening just the past year is this identity politics in the military, this push for critical race theory, the LGBTQ. Do you guys see that as a, I don't know, but a good thing? Or what are your thoughts on that politicalization of the military branches?
Let the generals and the admirals run the military.
Yes.
The government that we have has no idea what the military is or does or how to handle it, period.
The military should stay the military, the old military. You know, don't give the kids the cell phones when they're basic training and let them call mommy and daddy. Or give, and when they're young, here's another thing. Let's give them a participation trophy. That's BS and you know it. Yeah.
Do you guys have any thoughts or feelings about the Pentagon not allowing you guys to park in that? Yeah.
We own that place. Why won't they let us use our own property?
Well, another thing too, when Rolling Thunder was doing it, it seemed like each year they distracted us into of trying to get away from there. They would close entrances and make you go somewhere else to get in. They would move the entrances at the last point, and So if that was political, I couldn't tell you or not, but it just seemed like they were trying to push us out anyway.
Do you guys have any thoughts on how the new commander-in-chief is doing when it comes to the military?
No comment.
It's all right.
No, I respect my commander-in-chief. That's all I got to say. I respect his position.
And we're not going to say anything because of that. Respect the rank, not the person.
That's it.
Yeah. You guys are riding this weekend, but what are some ways Americans can honor the fallen, honor veterans to this weekend and every day?
This weekend, Memorial Day sales. Why would you have a sale when we're trying to honor the fallen?
Well, yeah, Memorial Day is exactly what it is. It's Memorial Day to honor those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. So take a moment while you're cooking out in your backyard, or well, it's kind of rainy, but when you're doing your cookouts or going to your ball games or doing whatever you do on Memorial Day, just take a moment and say a prayer for the families and the ones that's gone before us, and pass that on too a little bit. And that's what Memorial Day is all about.
Great. Well, gentlemen, thank you guys so much for talking with us. We really appreciate it. Drive safe. Have a beautiful Memorial Day. Thank you guys for your service.
Thank
really
you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Another one. I don't want to see you.
Yeah.
Hey there. We were just trying to figure out the windshield.
Welcome to Rolling to Remember.
Well, thank you guys again. Safe ride. Happy
All right,
Memorial
thank you. Good day, ma'am.
Yes.
Have a nice Memorial Day.
You too.
See, someone likes my bicycle.
That's Steve from California. He changed his name.
Hopefully I was talking to the right security guy and he gave me some good information. Good luck.
That's the way to deal with it.
That worked.
Yeah.
Still good communication.
Look at the front fender of that bike. Oh, nice. This guy rode this bike 40-some thousand miles in Vietnam well after the war. But he worked there as golf courses and I don't know what all, but and then on the back fender it'll tell you how many years he's ridden to the wall. So it's all custom paint. And it's him right there, Mike.
Yeah.
Mike Bernowski.
These are all the
He's taking pictures of it right here.
these are all the trails I rode across Vietnam with this motorcycle.
No way.
Yes, way.
Wow.
7 times.
7.
Every kilometer of the Ho Chi Minh Trail's got my tracks in the spirit of freedom for our fallen. But I didn't intend to do it.
In other words, you're going to what, shake a leg while you're in there?
Harley with no tax.
No way.
Just a little bribe.
Whoa.
I just wanted to ride him a day off, but I felt I saw an opportunity and felt an obligation, and everybody here would have felt the same. To ride across Vietnam and honor them on a Harley Davidson. How cool is that?
Yeah,
I thought.
so cool.
Well, I'm trying to stay employed and ride, and there's a lot going on in my story. I wrote a book about it. But I eventually made that ride. I went all the way up to the top and back again, and I got back and I was unfulfilled. I just felt there was something more out there. So I had to find out what it was, so I stopped working and just had faith if I go back on the trails, I'll be led where I need to go. And with no responsibilities or commitments, I was just absorbed by my journey. And the solitude of jungle on the Ho Chi Minh Trail was a powerful sensation. And I crossed the threshold, and I felt a bond with the spirits. And I wanted to celebrate freedom for them, but I didn't want it to be a hateful or somber affair. So I rode with a playful vengeance, tearing up the trails.
Love it.
And I rode, I had 5 accidents. I slid down the Ho Chi Minh Road sideways on this.
Are you kidding?
No.
Oh my gosh.
This bar has been straightened a few times and thrown twice. But I could always ride away. I rode 4 days with a fractured arm once.
Fractured arm.
Yeah,
Holy
right
cow.
arm. I could lift it up and get it on the throttle, and it was okay then.
Wow.
But maneuvering was a little tough. But after it was all over with, and it was the ride of a lifetime for those who never got to make one. And what I've gotten out of it was thinking about my nature. Why am I like this? And why are the Vietnamese like there? There were over 200 Harley Davidsons in Vietnam when I left, and nobody rode around alone. So I wondered why am I doing this and they're not? Well, when we grew up, our spirit, our free-spirited nature evolved. We could go across town and play. We could go out in the country and play, and eventually drive and go any place we wanted to. And that came because of the sacrifices made from millions of Americans from the Revolutionary War and every war, conflict, and clandestine operation since. And we have a responsibility to them and their families to live with the morals and values and excitement they cherished in life. And thinking about the Vietnamese, that generation I knew, when they grew up, their ancestors came from a time of French repression, 100 years. Then a little time after the Quai Son or rebellion, then came their American War. Their nature was that communities and families stayed close together. If they went someplace, they would go in the daytime with as many people on a planned journey, because what was unseen around the hill or around a curve over the hill, it literally threatened their life. So that staying together, it's still there, but it is evolving. They are getting a sense of freedom because of America's presence during the war and our continued trade ties and all. Okay, it's still a communist nation, but I knew a lot of people who felt that they're born free in Vietnam because of American sacrifices. And I've lived in 7 countries, 3 of them communist, for 12 years, and everywhere people admire our freedom. They emulate the American way, but they don't know America. The only thing they know is Americans. And what do they know about? Our free-spirited nature. That's what is in us all. And we just naturally take advantage of it. But let's do so responsibly and honor those who gave it to us, and let the families that are still here know that we honor them. We are grateful for that, for the sacrifices they've made. And we need to show them that we are grateful for it by living responsibly.
So you rode all of this, you're riding today. What are some other ways that Americans can honor veterans and honor those who have fallen this Memorial Day and every day?
If we live responsibly, every day is Memorial Day. Every day. By just living with the values and morals that they cherished in life. That's, I think, the most basic way to explain it. And one day, I'll ride this as long as I can, and when I'm done, it'll be title to the National Park Service as a donation to the Vietnam Memorial to Wall. You'll see on my plaque here, I've got this, and then on the back here, it's the property of the wall.
Wow.
You see on the underside. And on the back fender, I've got the mural of my riding across America.
Oh yeah. Wow, so cool.
There were so many coincidences on this because I didn't intend to do it. I didn't plan to write a book about it. I'm just doing what kind of had to be done.
Right.
And when I thought it was over, I thought, I got to share this. But I'm not ready to retire. I can't afford to leave my career, but I need to do this. So I thought it was over. And 3 months before I left Vietnam, I met a Vietnam veteran in a Texas barbecue in Nha Trang, and he told me about this National Veterans Awareness Ride, that I should meet up with them and I can join and ride here. Well, then he said, hell, I'll meet you and we'll ride together. And he lives in Arizona.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm thinking, you know, we've been drinking rum and cokes. And I'm thinking, we're both drunk. That's 10,000 miles away in 6 months from now. Okay, well, I gave him my card and we parted ways. And the next day I thought, how weird is this? Well, I had no way to get hold of him. So I rode back down to the barbecue the next night, sat down and had a drink. Sure enough, he come walking in. And we made a plan. And we met up in 2013, and I've been riding with him ever since. And I wrote my book, and I've been humbled. Did I give you one of my...
No. Let's get your name.
My story inside here.
Great.
And this is what readers have had to say about my story.
Great.
I wrote a good story. I'm terrible at promoting it.
No, this is great. This makes me
It is. And I'm just thrilled to be here and grateful for all the sacrifices that allow me and everybody else. Great. Yeah, see my foot peg here is ground down.
Oh wow.
I would be going around turns and curves through Ho Chi Minh Road and others, and I'd be pushing that footboard down, grinding. It makes a really obnoxious sound, and I'd be cheering for the fallen. This is for you guys. We're busting through the jungle.
Yeah. Wow. Well, my grandpa was a Vietnam veteran, so it's very important to remember that war and all those that they went through.
It was so amazing when I first got to Hanoi. I'm going to be walking here in Hanoi. Well, I want to go out on the streets. When have I ever said, oh, I don't want to eat that? Never ever. You cooked it? I'll eat it.
And that's the thing, it's like,
Seriously?
finally just now catching My feet were going to be rough tonight. They make different attachments. Saw you sitting over, had to come say hello. You got it. Yeah, boy. Yeah, see what happens to spend big money? Simon, you told me, here. When I told you I could.
So we are here with a group of bikers. If I could just have your guys' first name and where you guys are from.
Terry from New York.
We're from upstate New York.
Upstate New York. Awesome. So what is the inspiration behind your ride today? Why are you guys here?
Well, we're here it's not, we're not protesting, but we're trying to get a point across that veterans care about veterans, and the guys that didn't come home, we make that part of their deal. That 5 years ago we made this a bucket list, and we've been back every year since. So.
Wow. I was just going to say it's for the veterans who didn't come home. It's for those that to raise awareness for veteran suicide, and again, it's for all of those who have served and not come home.
So America's been through a lot this year. What makes this Memorial Day different for you guys, special for you guys, and for the country?
Well, it's to get back out on the bikes and get back out meeting people and talking to people from different states and everything. The whole idea of the COVID and all that stuff is, best thing for a military guy is to be around other military people.
It's just nice to get back out and to connect with people again. Being disconnected from people was very hard, but the causes still need to go on. There are still veterans in need, and there are still those that haven't come home. So we're here to demonstrate and let them know that they, never forget.
Something that's kind of been going on for a couple of years, but really came back in full force this year is do you think kneeling for the anthem is an appropriate way to protest? If not, why? And what would be your message to the athletes that decide to kneel during the national anthem?
The real heroes are buried in Arlington Cemetery. They're not the guys that are athletes. They're not heroes. The heroes are the ones that didn't come home. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the way I see it. And taking a knee, that's just disrespectful, just plain disrespectful. I grew up as a kid. When you heard the national anthem, you stood up and you paid tribute to the anthem. But it's there's too much of the wokeness, too much.
Yeah.
I would just say we stand for those who can't. It's our way of paying tribute to those who gave us the freedom. So for us, we will always stand for the flag.
And you bring up the wokeness, and we've kind of been seeing now a new push this past year of wokeness in the military, whether that's with the critical race theory, the push for the LGBTQ. What are your thoughts on that politicalization of the military and this woke movement?
Well, the thing to remember is all of our military is all veteran, our volunteers, and they're volunteering to serve their country, and leave it at that. But the political stuff that they're doing right now, the guys aren't worried about that. If you're worried that you're going to be part of a unit, a system. It's me helping him relying on me, and that the whole political nonsense doesn't have anything to do with it.
The military is why we have the freedoms. They have defended our country to protect that freedom. So even though not everyone always agrees, we have to realize that it's the military that has defended that right.
Do you guys have any thoughts or feelings about the Pentagon not allowing you guys to line up there in their parking lot this year?
Things happen. Things happen.
No, we found a way. So we're happy to be here.
Awesome. And you guys are riding, but what are some other ways that Americans can honor the fallen this Memorial Day and every day?
Go outside and put a flag up. Go to any cemetery and find a veteran that's there. Put a flower or two on there. Just remember, it's not about barbecues. It's not about hot dogs, hamburgers, potato chips. We're here to remember what happened and who sacrificed themselves for what we have.
Say the same thing. Find a way to be patriotic. Fly a flag. Visit a cemetery. If you visit a veteran, thank them for their service.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming out and talking with us. Thank you for your service, and have a safe ride and a beautiful Memorial Day. Thank you. Thank you.
Make some noise. My name is Joe Schinelli. I'm the National Executive Director for AMVETS. Echoes a little bit.
Sit down, Nikki.
Thank you all so much for coming out here and raising these elements, helping the advocacy, and making it true that this was too important to die.
So I think we're going to tune in. They're starting a program here 11:30. So we're going to go tune in. We're going to see what they have to say and see if there's any speakers. But thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Allie J. Nikolai. Behind the camera, as always, the wonderful Matthew Purdy. Make sure to check us out on all of our social media. But I think we're going to stay live. We're going to go over there and look at the program.
I'm the national president of the AMVETS Riders. And I can't tell you how happy it makes me feel to see all these back patches and everybody coming in to support this First Amendment demonstration for the 82,000 that haven't come home yet and the 22-a-day veteran suicide. Thank you very much for coming in. Now it's my pleasure to introduce the National Commander of AMVETS, Jan Brown.
Good morning, and welcome to Rollington Manor 2021. Thanks for joining us. While the routes and staging facilities look different, sorry, this echoes by the way. The mission maintains the same. We're demanding the accountability for the 80,000+ POWs and MIAs, and to continue to fund the Defense POW and MIA Accountability Agency. We're also bringing attention to our 22 suicide of veterans and military today. Again, thank you for joining us. Be safe and God bless. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Mr. Elliot Domingo, Director of Veterans Affairs here in Washington, D.C., and a Marine veteran. And we thank Elliot and the Mayor of D.C., who has allowed us to get the waiver necessary to be able to use this grounds today here at the, hopefully, the end of the pandemic. Elliot?
All right, good morning. Do it again. Hoorah! I like that. Thank you, Evans and Joseph. This is our first major event since the end of the pandemic in DC. And of course, the military and our veterans that are coming out and doing it first on the fly. So I want to thank AMVETS, I want to thank the mayor, and I want to thank all of our first responders and everyone that's come out and volunteered and made this possible. We appreciate you, and we're happy to see you ride our streets today. Thank you very much. Hoorah! Goodbye.
We now have a very special specimen. This echo makes it really difficult. I apologize. We have a very special guest speaker next, a 12-year-old advocate. I don't mean that she's been advocating for 12 years. I mean she's 12 years old. They're doing amazing things, and I think you're all going to really enjoy hearing from her. Miss Sawyer Hendrickson.
Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us for the 2021 AMVETS demonstration ride. My name is Sawyer Hendrickson. I'm a child advocate for our veterans and active duty military. I am 12 years old and I am from Michigan. I am the founder of Miss Sawyer's Kids with a Cause, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization committed to making a difference in the lives of our veterans and military. I started my nonprofit shortly after my older brother joined the Marine Corps. I started sending some care packages to him and others serving with him to let them know that I was thankful for their service to our country. Each year, my organization now ships over 25,000 care packages to all branches of our armed forces, as well as over 10,000 filled Sawyer stockings to those who won't be going home to their families for Christmas. It is important to make sure that those serving our country are not forgotten. The question that I ask of you today is, why are you here? It may seem odd that I ask that question, considering that for the past 35 years or so, Road Thunder and now AMVETS have planned these demonstration rides to bring awareness to all of our missing in action and prisoners of war. The reason we are here is because our government isn't listening to us. We still have over 83,000 servicemen who have not come home. That's 83,000 fathers, sons, husbands, brothers, uncles, and neighbors whose families never got to say goodbye. We need to make our government accountable to these families who have suffered the greatest sacrifice to our nation. The unfortunate fact of this situation is that after World War II, we still had over 75,000 missing, and after the Korean War, we had another over 8,000 missing. These numbers do not even include Vietnam or other conflicts we were in. Back in 1973, which was long before my time, our country celebrated as 591 POWs stepped back on American soil during Operation Homecoming from Vietnam, Cambodia, and other countries. But where are the rest? When are they coming home? Over the past 5 decades, our government has tried to make deals with all the countries that we have had conflicts with to get our POW MIAs home. But there are still so many missing. Over the past 5 years, I have personally stood in all kinds of weather conditions at our nation's airports waiting for our missing in action to finally welcome them home. Today is a day for us to remember the names of those missing in action, and to remember the faces of our prisoners of war. We are a nation of liberty and freedom, and we cannot let the sacrifices of our heroes be forgotten. We owe all of our brave men and women our selfless gratitude. We also must not forget their families. Over 83,000 families whose loved ones answered the call of duty and signed a blank check payable to our military. Many of these families have gone through decades of suffering and the pain of not knowing the fate of their loved ones. We can't possibly understand their grief, but every one of us should understand their sacrifice and be forever grateful, because freedom comes with a price. Today, we remember our POW MIAs who fought for our freedom and lost theirs. While I am here, I would also like to talk about a problem that no one really wants to talk about, but it is actually something every single one of us can do something about, and that is mental health, PTSD, and veteran suicide awareness. Every day, 22 veterans and active military members commit suicide. That is simply 22 too many. This is a problem that has exploded in our armed forces. Our veteran suicide rate is double that of civilian rates. While many think of PTSD or access to guns as contributing factors, the real issue is that our military and government does not offer many services for our veterans and service members to get help. In fact, most service member suicides or attempted suicides are not a direct result of PTSD. Suicide and self-harm happens when those emotional wounds are never treated or even acknowledged as being a problem. Unfortunately, there is no cure for suicide, but what we need to do is reduce the embarrassment of getting mental health care, behavioral health issues, and we just need to be there for them and talk about their problems. The cure could really be that simple. We all know someone who has served or is serving in our military. Those of you who have served know the first-hand struggles of returning home and trying to transition back into civilian life, of trying to find a job, have a family, and sometimes deal with the demons that haunt you, instead of living the American dream that you fought so selflessly for. To many, that is not just reality without getting some sort of help. I don't know exactly what the answer is, but I do know that our current system is broken. I have personally lost veterans and military members that I have met over the years to suicide. I don't know their stories or as to why they chose to end their lives instead of seek help. But I do know that I wish I could have been there to say something to change their minds. All over the country, there are small and large organizations that offer help to those who need it. Most of these organizations are founded by veterans trying to offer help to their brothers and sisters they serve with. So we know the problem is very real. The great thing is we can all be involved and be a part of offering support and awareness. Several times a year, I walk 22 Ks, or even sometimes 22 miles for events to show my support. I do the 22 push-up challenges we have all seen on social media or on the news. I show up at all the events being held in my hometown and local areas to show support. I believe that is what we need to do. We need to show our support and we need to show up. We need to reach out to our family, friends, and neighbors who have served our country and do buddy checks. We need to pay attention to life-changing events that happen to them. We need to pay attention to their social media posts or look for posts that they may be suffering from some sort of distress and reach out. It's so simple just to send a text, pick up the phone, meet for lunch or a cup of coffee, just to make sure they are okay and to let them know that someone out there actually cares. We all must remember, understand, and never forget that our freedom isn't free. It's really that simple. Being a patriot is not being political. I am not a Republican or a Democrat. There is no left or right to me. I am just 12 years old, I am a proud American, I am pro-military, and until all of those serving our country come home safely, I will continue to bleed red, white, and blue. Thank you all for having me here today. Again, today is a day for us to remember all of those POW MIAs, as well as loved ones lost to suicide. May God bless all of our veterans and all of those serving in our military. May God bless our Gold Star families and the families of our POW MIAs. May God watch over all of you this weekend during the demonstration ride as you head home back to your families. And may God bless America. Semper Fi!
Good job!
We'll now have a special blessing from AMVETS National Chaplain, Jeremiah Duncan.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's pray. And before I start, I just want to say, wow, that was amazing. And I get the honor of following that. Let's just pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for allowing us to be here today. God, I pray that we just, as we're riding today, that we are mindful of why we're riding, and just that everything we do today is going to be in honor of those who have gone before us and those who have not come home yet. God, keep us safe and just help us to have a great day. In Jesus' name, amen. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem, performed by United States Navy veteran and national recording artist, Dave Bray, USA.
Roll to remember, make some noise. I said, can you hear me out there? Quick question for you. Do we have any Patriots in the house today? My name is Dave Bray, USA. They call me the Rock Patriot. I serve as an FMF corps with the United States Marine Corps. We have 2 battle cries. The first one is Hoo-yah. So as Navy man, I'm going to ask y'all to give me a hoo-yah on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hoo-yah! One more to the Marine Corps. This one is hoo-yah! On the count of 3, I want to hear you all to remember. For the Marine Corps, let me get 1, 2, 3. Hoo-yah! And now the battle cry of the American people. The word is freedom. Too many men and women have fought for it. Too many men and women have died for it, and that is what that red color stripe stands for on that flag. So on the count of 3, rolling to remember, I want the biggest, the loudest, and the most patriotic freedom you got deep within your soul, so the ones who pay the ultimate price can hear us here today. On the count of 3, give me that freedom. 1, 2, 3. Freedom! 1, 2, 3. Freedom! 1, 2, 3. Freedom! You guys are awesome. Thank you for joining us on this Memorial Day. My name is Dave Bray, USA. This is our national anthem. Oh, I'm toast to you, darling. So proudly leading that twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous valleys, over the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming. In the rocky track there, the first singing air gave proof through the night
Thank you, everything. Thank you for coming. My name is Lieutenant Margiano with the NCD Motorcycle Unit. I just want a quick safety brief. Please, 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 be ride safe, ride carefully. Make sure you wear your helmets, make sure you maintain speed. Watch the police helmets in front of you, the white helmets. Unfortunately, we don't have the greatest roads in here in DC. There's a lot of potholes, there's some speed bumps, there's some hazards on the roadway, so keep your head on a swivel and be conscious of that. There are times where you may have to split around a traffic cone or both go to the left. We're going to try to double stack the entire time. However, there may be some points on the route where we have to narrow it down. So please beware and be available to fall in behind the bike in front of you. All right? So we're going to go out of here, we're going to the southwest corner, straight down that service road, up onto the highway, and then we'll get off and go around the National Mall. Especially around by the Lincoln Memorial, it gets a little tight. So please be careful, just safety first. Let's make the best ride ever, let's make it a safe ride. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless America. Right on. To all Metropolitan Park Police, Metropolitan Police, and National Parks Police, law enforcement has been so fantastic to make this work. Please respect them out there. Give them a thanks if you get the chance. So let's roll. Be safe. Be smart. And roll with a purpose.
Joe. Mike Smith, rally on me. From upstate New York.
Rochester. Definitely great to make going.
I found y'all.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we are heading up to the top of the line. We're going to watch these motorcyclists get on their way, get on their path around Washington, D.C. Again, thank you so much for
All right, guys, we're gonna go catch up with the line here.
let him know. You should, you know, like, you can go in, and then you start only if you want. So Facebook starting up, keep going to start. But if you want to restart Facebook, you can. So talk to them and see.
Alright guys, I'm trying to keep up with the motorcyclists. I'm going to switch my battery real fast. So you're going to see it go black, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few seconds. officially, no, there's still more. Still more. Okay, guys, I think we might have caught the end of it right there. All right. Guys, thank you for tuning in. This is Matthew Purdy with Breitbart News. I will try to catch up with them, but not sure if I can right now. So, but if I do, we will take you guys back live. These are just the police here. So I'm going to jump off here. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you guys, to everyone, all the Breitbart listeners, supporters, readers. Thank you guys so much. We love you all. We're going to end this stream right now, and if I can catch up with the motorcyclists, we will come back live. This is Matthew Purdy, Breitbart News. Before you were seeing Allie J. Have a good one, guys. Have a blessed Memorial Day and rest of your weekend. Thank you.